Hey guys, this is Tom from Numbers Game Lifestyle. We're going to talk about how important your looks are in your overall dating success. And most guys will tend to think, like at this day and age, that looks are probably the top priority, the most important part of whether, you succeed in your whole dating endeavors, whether that's getting laid a lot, getting a lot of girlfriends, or just having a lot of options in general. And this is true in most cases, right? Like in most cases, the looks, like the better your looks, the better your options. However, a lot of times people neglect how important exposure is. And exposure is even more important than looks, more important than money, status, anything. And exposure is how many women actually lay eyes on you. Whether that's through a dating app, women see you on a dating app, or women see you in person when you're walking down the street. Because without exposure, you have zero options, right? You could be the best looking guy with the most money in the world, the highest status in the world, but if no women or very few women actually see you and lay eyes on you, you will have zero options. You'll have no options. Now contrast that to a guy that maybe looks kind of average, but let's say he's exposed to lots of women on dating apps, lots of women in his personal life, like women see him a lot. Maybe he works downtown, lives downtown where lots of women see him. His options are going to be way higher than the guy that has tons of money, tons of looks, like really high status, because his exposure is so much higher. So yes, exposure is the most important. Without exposure, you have nothing. Okay, but the next most important thing is your looks. Hate to say it, like most people already know this. Most people that have already, done game and practiced out in the field in the dating market know that looks are paramount. Without it, you're screwed in most cases. Okay, so how do you know whether you're good looking enough to succeed in the whole dating market? If you pass the looks threshold for most women. And the easiest way to go about doing this to kind of test like where you're at in terms of looks is to go into like a busy place where you can make eye contact with a lot of women. This can be anything. Anywhere where you just plop yourself, like you stand in a location where lots of women can see you. Maybe it's at a mall, a busy mall. Maybe it's on a busy downtown street. And you just stay there and you stare at women walking by. Right? You just look at them. And you see how many of these women give you choosing signals. Basically find you attractive, find you interesting. And here's what will happen. Women that will, find you attractive, they will do a couple of things. These are the signals that you're looking for. They will stare at you back. You stare at them, they stare right back at you. They hold eye contact. Maybe they like dart away. And then they come back to make sure that you're looking. Like, is this guy looking at me? They look at you twice. Some of them will smile. They'll just perk up and like they see you staring at them and you've got a warm expression on your face, so they will smile at you. Other things, like in different situations, sometimes girls will, position themselves closer to you. They'll see you and they'll make sure that you see them. They'll like walk right in front of you and then like wait around and position themselves close to you. But in most situations, let's say it's like a downtown environment where people are walking by, they don't get an opportunity to do that. All they're doing is like looking at you. And if they find you attractive, they'll look at you like longer. Or if you're, walking past them, they will look at you twice. They'll look away and then they'll look at you again. And this is the way to tell whether a girl is interested. Now, if you're in a busy location where you're seeing tons of women that you find attractive and you're looking at them, but they're pretending that you're invisible, like you are essentially invisible to let's say like 100 women that pass by, that gives you a really big sample size, and none of them are like staring back at you or looking at you twice, like looking away and then looking at you again, then yes, you've got like some improvements to make. Because without any kind of signs of attraction, women aren't attracted to you, you're just invisible. You are going to be one of these guys that has to approach hundreds, maybe even thousands of women to get dates. And that you can't build sexual abundance that way. If it takes you that much effort to get a date with women that you find attractive, you will never have sexual abundance, because you're like, man, this is so much work just to get a date, just to get a lay. Come on. This is why improving your looks is so important. Making sure that you look, women can look at you and you catch their eye. They look twice. And obviously most women aren't going to do this, because most women aren't in the market for a new man. Most women are just going to, you're going to be invisible to them. However, there is some women that are on the market for a new man, and they're looking, right? Their eyes are peeled. They're looking for like a sexy guy to, meet. So if you're out there, out on the field, and you're looking at girls walking by, but they're not looking back at you, you're invisible to them. It doesn't matter whether you approach them. Go ahead and approach them. You're going to get nowhere, because they don't even find you attractive. However, this is not for me. This is not me saying cold approach is useless. Cold approach, let's say a girl doesn't even lay eyes on you. Maybe she's like staring at her phone while she's walking, and then you strike up a conversation. These can go well. These are like hit and miss. You can actually have very good success with these. But if a woman actually looks at you and it's like, there's nothing happening, there's no spark at all, she doesn't look back at you, she doesn't hint at a smile, she just like looks at you and then she's like looks away and never returns her look. These girls are a complete waste of time. They are not in the market for what you're selling. They are not interested in what you're selling. And that's what people don't understand. So what guys don't understand is women look at things that interest them the same way that you and I do. We find a woman attractive. We look at it. We're more obvious in that we stare at them more obviously, but women do the exact same thing. They might be a little less obvious. They'll look at you from the corner of their eye and then look away and then look at you again to make sure that you're still looking at them. But it's the same thing. Women look at people that interest them, that they want to meet. And if you're not getting any of these signals, you go ahead, approach 1,000 women, get nowhere, and you'll be you'll have a PUA guru saying no, your body language was off. Oh, your voice tone was off. You're bad. That was a bad opener. No, it's because there was no initial attraction in any of your, approaches, which is why looks are very important. If you're not getting any kind of women looking at you, taking a second look at you, you're going to be a guy that's wondering what's wrong? I've approached all these women, nothing's happening. This guru told me that I need to work on my body language or my voice tone or my opener was off. No, it's just that you haven't improved enough, on your outward appearance to be attractive to the women that you're approaching, which is going to take some, either it's wardrobe, your overall style, hair, facial hair, your body. Everything needs to be above average in order to, get women attracted to you. And if you're just blending into the background, with every woman that you encounter, then yes, you are not going to get anywhere approaching them. Approaching is just going to be a total waste of your time, and it's going to be crushing your confidence because you haven't, improved your product enough to be viable for the market. Now, don't get it confused, and be all black pill and think that only male models get laid. Only male models are the guys that women find attractive. No. You walk down the street, you'll see hot chicks with guys that look slightly above average. That's the extent of it, right? You'll see it all the time. So if you can compare yourself and get to those guys' level, be slightly above average, good things will happen, provided you're exposed to enough girls. Both of those ingredients need to be in play. You need to look above average, and you need to be exposed to enough women that you encounter enough sexually available women. Because the sexually unavailable women aren't going to care what you look like, how much money you have, how huge your status is or anything, because they're not in the market for a new man. But there is going to be a select few that are going to find you attractive, and they're going to be sexually available. And these are the girls that are going to look twice. They're going to stare. They're going to smile. They're going to give you a signal once they make eye contact with you. But if you're not getting any signals, it's a good chance that you have to improve your appearance, and take the time to do that before you make any more progress in the whole dating sphere. All right, guys, that's the video. Thanks for watching.